We've wrapped up the music, and we're going to get into the main event of the evening.
Is it really the main event?
No, not really.
Oh.
45, Agent Orange, Donald J. Trump versus Sleepy Joe.
Joey
Budden. Joey Badass. Joey, if you ain't vote for me, you ain't black. Biden.
Hey, did you see that when that happened, Donald Trump dropped those T-shirts?
What?
That said, if you... I think they said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And then it had the little hyphen, Joe Biden. Trump dropped it for his campaign. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I might buy one of them shits.
Merch. Free merch. That's a business. That's a businessman for you. Through and through.
I ain't gonna lie. Whoever Trump marketing guy is, he's a genius because that was perfect.
Through and through. All right. So Monday, Tuesday?
Was it that long ago? Damn. It was that long ago? What's today? Saturday? I feel like maybe it was on Tuesday.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was like earlier in the week.
Okay.
Presidential debate between presidential candidate Joe Biden and current U.S. President Donald Trump. I was not in the mood to watch two old men bicker, so I personally didn't watch it, although I understand I missed out on quite a entertaining treat.
You missed out big time.
So please fill us in on your takeaway from the...
Before I go, you want to know who's the MVP of Twitter during this debate?
Whom?
Vince Staples.
Oh, well, yeah, that's...
Bro, he's
automatic, bro.
He posted during the debate. He said, "The next debate, I want the candidates to have to do a decathlon. I'm tired of these old bitches."
I mean, look, this.
I was like, yo.
It should be like honestly, it should be like a physical test. It's like
it should be. They made the military do it. Why can't they do it?
Damn, they should have like some sort of PT test. Like, yeah.
Barack Obama could at least beat me in one-on-one. What can these niggas do?
Yo, real quick, should there be like a cap on like the age that you can run for president?
Yes, absolutely.
Because both of these niggas finna fall over.
Both of these, because you dealing with niggas. The reason why I don't like it is because you deal with people who are already set in their ways, and they don't see past a certain. They only see things. You at that point in your life where you're kind of conformed, and if you gotta adjust, it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying the president should be 40, but the damn sure shouldn't be like 75 or some shit. Like,
I mean, these dudes both mid 70s or close to 80. It's like they can't possibly, in my brain, relate to the America that is today.
Nah, it's no way.
So I just really, and this is not party affiliated. This is just any individual who runs for office. I don't know if I would extend that to local positions, but hell, may not be a bad idea either. It's just, like I said, there's a certain stress that comes with, being the leader of the free world, and just, hell, even when Bernie was running, Bernie damn near had a heart attack.
I know. And Bernie, honestly, Bernie was like the old nigga I would have voted for. I like Bernie.
So, but yeah, that's beside the point. So tell me what you thought about.
Wait, what would your age cap be? I say 50. I think 50 should be the cap.
Cap?
Yeah.
Barack wouldn't have won then.
Yeah, he would have.
You talking about? I mean, like the height, like the oldest you can run.
50. Barack was like in his 40s. I thought when he won.
He was like late 40s.
Yeah, but if you already in there, I'll accept you again. But your initial run.
What I do know is that it can't be damn near 80.
It's 80.
Yeah.
Fuck you. The fuck.
So
that nigga Donald Trump on Twitter, 80.
So I guess in my brain, you can no longer run if, I guess I would say 66. Like you can't be.
That's such a weird number.
Well, because if you can't go into, you can't be 70 as a president. I don't think. Or let me say you shouldn't be. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I mean that's not the rule.
I'll one up you. 55. I think 55 is a pretty good age.
I mean, that's a solid number. Solid. But that's
anyway
beside the point. So tell me what you thought about the debate in question.
It was kind of what I expected, but a little bit more than what I expected. I did expect Donald Trump to use a strategy where, he deflected questions and he didn't answer much, and but the manner in which he did it, I didn't see coming. I didn't expect to see him interrupt Joe every fucking time he talked. I didn't expect. Did you hear about the low blow with his son?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was a lot of things that caught me by surprise during this debate.
Why'd that surprise you?
That was messed up. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a very Donald Trump thing to do. But, I mean, you wouldn't expect that in a presidential debate, if that makes sense.
Okay, I got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the setting. That's not the format. If this nigga was just on Twitter talking bullshit, then I would expect that. But not on a nationally televised debate. During arguably this honestly might be the most important election of our life.
Now, what I will say, from what I heard, and this was kind of the surprise for me, is people were upset that he did not denounce the KKK.
Yeah, that was a crazy moment.
On that, to me, it was the fact that he was on that platform, and he's done some stupid shit, and I guess I'm not surprised. This is weird because I'm not surprised that he didn't denounce it.
I'm not either.
But I would figure it wouldn't be. This is the way I'm thinking. He just came to Atlanta last week, trying to roll out this platinum plan to. I mean, of course,
shouted out Polo to Don too.
Yeah, of course, to try to pander to the black vote, and then you can follow that up with the opportunity to denounce the KKK. Not that it necessarily worked, but again, when you're pandering, and
that was such a T-ball.
I just thought it was like, it was like a layup. That
was like a wide open goal.
And look, I mean, politicians lie all the time. So even if he wasn't telling the truth, that's not surprising because politicians lie all the time. But to me, it just felt like it was like an alley-oop.
Yeah, that was the most alley-oop.
It was just like an alley, brother.
And what was crazy was that they gave him multiple chances to do it. They kept saying, "Well, do it." Do it.
So that's
do it. He had like a solid 30 seconds to say, "Okay, yeah, I don't fuck with racists."
I guess strategically in my brain, if again the perspective I'm looking at is if you're trying to appeal to the black voter fan base or black voter base. Now, his Trump hardcore supporters, I know that they're pretty much set where they're at. Even like to what you said, I think we were off mic, but people who support him who got wind or they was a little bit taken aback by that, they still are gonna vote for him.
Yeah.
But they were just like, yo, that was kind of why would
even they look like, that was the one thing I kept seeing was because normally Trump supporters go stupid hard for Trump, but even they were like damn, hold up.
And I did see people trying to they posted some video that he did a while ago where he did denounce racism and white supremacy and the KKK. So my brain, I'm like, repeat it.
Yeah. Just do it.
Why not repeat it on the biggest? You have probably the biggest audience in the United States right now. So
in the world was watching that shit.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying the world's watching, but I'm talking about just United States is going to be the ones voting for you. But it just was if you said it before, why not just say it again? It just to me it just didn't make sense. Like I said, I understand how he may feel personally. But for him to not say it it couldn't have hurt him. It doesn't hurt to it didn't hurt him to say it. So that was it for me. But
and then for him to specifically call out the Proud Boys at that, they didn't say, yo, denounce racist supremacists. And he said Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah. So,
and it was a moment, man. I think I don't know. Honestly, I think that might have lost him the election. If you want me to be completely real, I think that lost him the election.
you think that lost him the election?
Oh yeah. I mean, because you just had a true show. Like, we've had plenty of showings where Trump displayed who he was, but I feel like that one moment, that whole debate kind of just, it elevated it to a whole nother level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you saw his weaknesses on display. He didn't answer a single question. Every question they asked him, he used it to attack Biden. And then half the stuff he was saying wasn't true. Not saying everything Biden said was true, because Biden got some shit wrong too. But the fact that Trump deflected every question, didn't answer anything, and then his deflections were just to directly attack Biden, it showed that you're dealing with a president that really has no idea what he's doing. And I think a lot was exposed.
Now, all right, so I guess I can see.
But also, I might be thinking too logically about this too.
Well, here's what I'll say to what you just said. Now, I think there is maybe a sector of individuals who don't give a shit about either one of them, but then hearing that, they're like, "Oh, no, I can't rock with that."
Yeah,
and they could probably lean towards Joe Biden. I don't think Trump lost any support from that. I think people who, and honestly, even with this debate, I really feel like even his supporters who are disappointed with how he performed, they're already set. They're already kind of 10 toes down. Like they're voting for him. Like he could say nigga on TV, and they already gonna, just like Joe Biden. Joe Biden can say nigga on TV too, and people.
Yeah, you're right.
They'll
get away with it.
Yeah, they're pretty much hunkered down, and they're just like, the debate in my eyes is almost like a formality. Like people already have in their minds like who they're voting for at this point, for the most part. Not everyone, but I don't think Trump lost any support. But I think some folks who are maybe, because you have a lot of people who probably weren't going to vote.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean by he lost. I think he lost.
Okay, so in that regard, maybe. But I don't know how jaded those folks are.
That's true too.
Some people might be, man, I
don't fucking care.
Fuck both these motherfuckers.
I'm moving to Africa.
So,
I don't know. I do think it's time to move out the country.
do you think people that don't vote get to complain? Because I hear that a lot.
I've kind of been 50-50 on that argument my whole life. I think every person has a right to complain, especially if you live here and you pay taxes. So, yeah, I think you have a right. But at the same time, if you're not going to vote, you better have a damn good reason why you didn't vote. Like a legit, like you've read what both of these candidates offered, and you like, yo, both of them are trash, and you better be prepared to have that argument.
True that.
And that's why, that's why I don't normally talk about politics, because, unless you know your shit, it's hard to justify any decision you make.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, I follow politics to its extent. I couldn't tell you the first thing that Biden's offering, but I will tell you what I've dealt with for the last 4 years, and I'm not liking it. So I mean, that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I asked that because I hear that come up a lot. I have a slightly different take on it. I don't think that, and I could be wrong, so this is just my opinion. I don't think people that don't vote really complain that much. I think they've already kind of determined that we're fucked anyway, so
doesn't matter.
What the fuck ever. So I don't think they complain that much. So that's just something that I was curious.
I just don't like the mentality that people have saying my vote doesn't matter. That's the only mentality I don't like. Because, you saying you voting for someone could maybe impact someone decision on voting for who they're voting for. Or,
well, to me, where it gets dicey, and this is not a political podcast, but to me, where it kind of gets dicey is when people police people's intentions for voting. Like, for example, if a person was to say, "Oh, I'm going to vote independent," that's their right to vote independent. But someone will turn around and say, "Well, that's just a wasted vote for Trump. That's just a throwaway vote." So, like, to me, it's like it's getting a little bit dangerous when the idea that voting based off of what you believe is the best. Like, for example, people a lot of times they will just look at, okay, what is the policy that these individuals are promising, whether they believe that they'll carry through with them or not. You can argue that,
right?
But if they look at the policies of a particular party, and they'll say, well, this person is supporting Second Amendment, this person is against blah blah blah, this is why I'm going to vote for them. And of course, the person may not be a saint, or they may not be liked in the whatever, but that's why they're going to vote for them. So to me, it gets a little dicey now. Like, once upon a time, people were kind of like less open about a lot of things, but in particular, like voting, like politics. Politics was something that
people didn't talk about that.
You didn't discuss, and you kind of voted for things that were in the best interest of your family.
Right.
And now it's kind of evolved into something else where it's like, people will say, if you don't vote, then it's a vote for Trump. Fine. If you do vote, but you don't like Joe Biden, and you feel like you have the better candidate, whether it be libertarian, whether it be independent, and you say, well, wait a minute, they're not going to win. That's just a waste of vote. So it's like, but wait a minute, I'm voting for the person that I believe has the best policies. Right. So that's where it gets like kind of dicey, because now we're getting into like an overspill of like, we should, in my opinion, we should be voting on the candidate we believe not has the best chance to win, but has the best policies promised in the event that they are successful.
Right.
Like, I hear a lot about, again, not a political podcast, but just yapping. So I hear a lot about like a two-party system when technically we have multiple parties. We don't have just two parties, but we've kind of been conditioned to believe that that's the only
way
options. And we haven't considered, whether it be, like I said, independent, libertarian, other alternatives and other people. We've just kind of been set in this mindset that it's Democrat and it's Republican. So that's kind of a segue into something else, but
giving them your bars.
Just a little razzle dazzle.
But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. It was definitely a revealing moment for both gentlemen. I think one thing people aren't paying attention to is how Joe Biden held his cool. That speaks. I think that spoke volumes, honestly. Even after Trump said the shit about his son, everything, he held his cool, and you could tell he was trained for that moment.
Yeah,
he definitely had somebody saying a bunch of dumb shit. He probably practiced his whole thing and had people saying dumb shit while he was doing it. And he had to learn to ignore them, how to retaliate properly. Because honestly, after Trump said the thing about Joe Biden could have lost his shit, and it would have been perfectly justified.
Yeah, I just wish the rest of society would follow suit. Like, what's fascinating about Donald Trump is I feel like a lot of times he garners the attention that he has is because people, they entertain a lot of his bullshit.
Right.
And like you said, Joe Biden, I'm sure he prepared himself for, hey, he's going to try to get under your skin with certain, certain comments, certain remarks, but don't get wavered by that. Stay focused on,
right.
what we want to try to accomplish in this debate. So from that perspective, salute to him for that.
I also like the fact that, he owned the thing with his son. That was something else. He owned it. He said, my son was a drug addict. Like, nah, he didn't deny. I don't know. It was a lot of interesting moments, man.
Yeah.
They had the pack the court moment too, where Judge Biden, where he didn't answer that question. But honestly, if you don't follow politics, you probably don't even know what that meant. So, but in case y'all don't know, packing the court just means packing the. There's 300 seats in the. Fuck, which one is it? It's in one of those fucking branches or one of those government buildings.
Oh, what?
But basically, it's saying, are you going to fill the court with a bunch of Democrats? Basically, that's all packing the court means. Because there was a lot of analysts paying attention to that. But if you don't follow politics, you don't know what that shit means. Because I didn't know what that shit meant until like 2 weeks ago, right before the debate. So, yeah, I don't know. If you didn't see it, go look at the highlights. If you haven't registered to vote, go vote or register, please. I don't care who you vote for, just fucking do it.
Just remember, if you don't vote for Joe Biden,
you ain't black.
On God.
And, yeah, that's on moms.
All right. Where we at?
Trump caught COVID.
Oh yeah, so
we don't got to go deep into this, but
all right. Donald Trump has. It was announced that he and his wife, I believe.
Yeah, they both caught COVID. They
tested positive for COVID. I believe they were transported to a hospital, and they're currently quarantined right now. There are a lot of people who are speculating that he does not have it, and this is all a hoax, if you will. There's a lot of people who are wishing that he does have it, and that COVID does its thing, as it does with older people. But
I don't want him to die.
I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't want him to die.
Listen, man, I get it. The man is not a great man in a lot of people's eyes. So we're in a weird space, man. Like, once upon a time, we didn't really wish death on people. You didn't really speak ill of the dead. Even if you didn't agree with certain things they did when they was here, like once they died, like that was kind of it. It's like if you had beef with somebody and they died, it's like, you don't continue the beef. It's like it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but if he does in fact have it, I'm gonna be honest. I hope he does recover. I don't want him to die, regardless of how I feel about him.
I do want him to feel some of the symptoms, but I don't want him to die.
I think for him, if he does have a lot of the symptoms that, especially at his age, where he would be definitely susceptible to a lot of the symptoms associated, perhaps this could be a humbling moment for him. Once upon a time, this was considered a hoax and a fake virus. And, you have now deceased Herman Cain, who was at the one of the Republican rallies, and he eventually contracted coronavirus and passed away after kind of proclaiming that it was not, in fact, a real virus. So,
yeah,
and again, same with him. I know a lot of people talked about him when he died and stuff like that. I personally just, like I said, the man's dead now, so I feel no need of kicking the man. It's maybe a bad analogy, but
you mean speaking ill of the dead?
Well, yeah. So just we got to do better with that, but that's for a different day. I don't have too much to add to it.
Yeah. I'm just, I don't like to see people wish death on people, and I don't wish death on Donald Trump. I want him to feel some of the symptoms, but death, nah, not really. But
well, to me, it's like you have to be careful with the mentality, because if we're all talking about, if a lot of people are talking about, this is a terrible disease, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Like he's part of it together.
He's a part of it.
So it's like you can dislike the man and not wish death on him. Like it's not like that hard. Like,
yeah.
and wishing someone, like, we can't be in this weird space where saying I don't wish death on a person is like co-signing the things that they do. I hope we're not like that, like stupid to where we can't like differentiate and separate things in that way. But I don't know. Like I said, him and his wife are currently quarantined at the moment. Someone else, forgive me, I don't have the name. I want to say a governor or someone else had contracted or tested positive for COVID.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, that's something that we don't want to have to be something that we start doing where people that we don't like who contract COVID, we wish death on them. So let's be better than that, people. Let's try to be better than that a little bit. So